Hi, my name is Omar Zaza, and I'm a member of Faculty for Justice in Palestine at San Francisco State University. We're here today to basically explore the intersectional nature of all of the ways that Chevron is complicit in violence, dispossession, and extractivism, essentially, against marginalized peoples the world over.
Not only does Chevron harm us right here in Richmond, but they have also caused global harm in Ecuador, the Philippines, Myanmar, and off the coast of Gaza and Palestine. I'm tired of hearing about every flaring incident, which happens way too frequently.
Before I was a mayor and Richmond City Council member, I was a public elementary school teacher in Richmond for nearly 2 decades. During that time, I noticed that many of my students could not participate in physical education. Because my students had grown up under the shadow of Chevron, they had much higher rates of asthma and other breathing problems than students in other school districts. So, as a teacher, I addressed this problem by making a special physical education class for students who had difficulty breathing.
I was born and raised in the Iron Triangle, where my house directly faced the Chevron refinery, and I would see the stacks of smoke every single day. All of my siblings have asthma that we still carry and have to take care of ourselves even into adulthood.
First, you should know that black music don't die. How Can't Get Enough rose from its 2006 slumber to footwork its way into 2023 like it had always been here. Like a black revolution uprooted on the lands of my great-grands.
But I'm here really to be in solidarity in Anti-Chevron Day. There are so many reasons that Chevron needs to be called out. Our union does support the Make Polluters Pay effort, and I hope we get it on the ballot. We commit to getting it passed.
For several decades, we Burmese people, especially indigenous people, have been fighting for 63 years against military dictatorship. Since then, the fascist military has murdered over 5,000 civilians.
The Philippines is rich with natural resources, such as oil and gas, but also minerals like gold, silver, copper, and manganese. And in the Cordillera region, there's over 100 mining companies application and over 100 energy applications such as hydro dams and geothermal dams, which Chevron being one of them applied in the Cordillera region. And there, the indigenous peoples protested the Chevron geothermal energy project. And when they protested, they were met with state violence.
I was also a part of the group that first came up with the idea of doing Anti-Chevron Day every year. Used to be that every year at this time, Amazon Watch would accompany allies from the Ecuadorian Amazon into the Chevron shareholder meeting to confront the CEO and the board face to face, demand that they clean up the Ecuadorian Amazon, and demand that they be held accountable. And year after year, they were treated in the most disgusting, overtly racist way by Chevron's leadership. Chevron owes over $50 billion to communities it has harmed around the globe. In some cases, it's where it has violated the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. In some cases, it's like what it has done in Richmond or in Ecuador, but it adds up to over $50 billion.
Dear Earth, dear Rafat, since you've died, I found this Las Kefia, this yin, this yang, this black and white. Though I'm just a poet on love's side, I will make this poem into your kite. A heart-shaped frame with golden sail, messages of collective freedom and olden tales about how easy it could be for humans to be kind if it weren't for the play of opposites in rhythm or rhyme. But let me honor your request by sending this out or in
Our institutions would like us to turn a blind eye to their complicity, but we refuse to look away. We refuse to be silent in the face of atrocity. So in retaliation, they criminalize and brutalize us. We have seen this across the country at Columbia, the city universities of New York, Emerson, UCLA, UCSF, and UC Irvine, where cops were called in by the universities on peaceful protesters with the flimsiest of charges to destroy our solidarity with the Palestinian people. As a union member, this presents a horrifying future. What is the point of the union if we are not able to come together to demand a better future through protest?
On a quiet day in Mukhayyam Shafat refugee camp, peaceful and sweet, with warm aromas of my grandmother's cooking, my uncle working outside, my cousins and I watching TV. Too soon, the tear gas stabs through the sweetness of the day. Instinctively, my grandmother, cousins, and I run to close all the windows, and too late, we realize the canister is inside the house.
And some of you may know that under the banner of a coalition called Students for Gaza, SFSU students launched their own encampment on Monday, April 29th, taking part in the encampment movement spreading out across university campuses across the country. Then, just over 2 weeks later, on Wednesday, May 15, 2024, the date Palestinians commemorate the Nakba, or catastrophe, that marked the ethnic cleansing leading to and currently sustaining the genocidal settler colonial state of Israel, Students for Gaza announced the encampment, having achieved several important wins in their demands. A commitment from the president of the university to work towards disclosing all SFSU investments, divesting from weapons companies, and defending the rights of students to protest for Palestine. And SFSU is also the first campus to have a university president publicly negotiate with student demonstrators for Gaza in open bargaining.
Out of nowhere, my uncle appears, opens a window, grabs my cousins and I, and hanging from his neck, his arm, and his back, he held us outside the window so we can breathe. And my grandmother held onto his waist to root us down. Love looked like this.
Go to truecostofchevron.com. So there are actions related to Ecuador. There are actions you can take in support of the communities here in Richmond. There are actions that you can take to boycott Chevron because of the stealing of gas off the shore of Palestine.